What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Scalpology. My name's Ryan, and this is part 2 to the 4-part series on how to become a day trader in 2022. This video is made by the co-founder of Scalpology and the head options trader at KG Capital, Kraig. This is a full tutorial on Webull, which is a brokerage that you can use on desktop or mobile. It is a great beginner brokerage. And if you saw the homework from the last video, you know I told you to sign up for a paper trading account. At no risk to you, Webull will let you sign up for a paper trading account, which means that you can trade up to $1 million in capital. It's fake money, and you can practice getting into positions, getting out of positions, and you can practice technical analysis. So I'm going to keep this introduction short. In part 1, you learned what day trading was. You learned your journey as a trader. Now we're getting into the technology aspect of trading. So enjoy the walkthrough, guys, and I will see you on the next one.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Kraig with KG Capital, and today I wanted to give you a quick overview of Webull's desktop application for trading. Webull is by far my favorite brokerage out of the major ones that I've tried. It is one of the few free brokerages similar to Robinhood, but it has more options and customizations available. It is fairly easy to navigate and is a great platform for those of you that know what you're looking at with charts, fundamental and technical analysis, as well as stocks or options. Also, the fact that it's a free brokerage is great for newer traders, so you don't throw money at commissions while you're learning. It's hard enough to make money in the markets without giving commissions to your broker. They do have standard fees that are determined by trading commissions, which every brokerage has. Webull is quick with order fills, is smooth on mobile or desktop, and it has cash, margin, and IRA account offerings. So I'm going to go over everything the desktop application has to offer, and then walk you through how to set up a custom layout to suit your trading style. Just a reminder, if you do want to give Webull a try, please use the referral code in the link below, and once you sign up and make a deposit, you get some free stocks, and I do as well. Alright guys, let's get to it. So once you open up the desktop application, the first tab that you're going to come to is your Watchlist tab. This is where you're going to put all of the stocks that you're interested in into lists for however you want to categorize them. Maybe you want to keep track of possible swing trades, stocks in play, meme stonks, opening plays, whatever else you can think of, you name it. So if you want to create a watch list, you'll come over here to the watch list button, you'll right click. You'll go to edit watch list, and over here on the left, this is everything I already currently have. You have the ability to edit the name of the watch list as well as what's in there, or just trash it all together if you don't like what you did. So we want to add a watch list. You go over here to click add watch list and come up with a name. So we'll go with stocks in play. Maybe this is a small list of things that you want to focus on, maybe off the open where you only can really look at 2-3 stocks. So once you add it, it shows up here, over here on the right. As you can see, there's nothing in it currently. So if you want to add something to it, there's 2 main ways to do it. You can either go through the search and view in watch list, or you can go to recently viewed. The recently viewed is just everything that you've searched over here in a list format. So we've looked at SPY already. Maybe we want to look at Tesla, AMD, NVIDIA. Chips are hot right now. Maybe we want to look at Meta. The Qs are outperforming. Maybe a Snapchat, and we'll call it AMC or GME so we can keep the meme stocks on watch. So now everything is over here in recently viewed. We want to add it over to stocks in play. So you'll go over here to the 3 buttons. You'll go to add to watch list, select the one that you want, and make sure you star it. Once you star it, it should show up over there. Look at that. So we want to keep track of SPY as well as Tesla. Maybe they're highly correlated today, and maybe AMD got some news overnight. So we'll add that to our stocks in play. So all 3 of those are in our stocks in play. If you want to add it the other way, it's similar. So let's say maybe NVIDIA because it's playing along with AMD. So you'll come over here and you'll click on the star, highlight the watch list that you want, and make sure it's in there as well. Cool. So these are the 4 stocks that we're going to be watching off the open. This is our watch list. This is all the pertinent information that I'm interested in. This, I believe, is the default. You can add, take away anything that you want to look at, anything you don't want to look at. This is where you also change it. So currently we have the name, the ticker, the spark line, which is just the daily chart in a really condensed format, last price that it traded at, the dollar change, the percent change, previous close, open, high, and low, daily volume, the average volume over the past 3 months. And if you're interested in whether the stock's gapping up, gapping down, you can look at the pre-market and the after hours change. Anything that you want to change, you'll come over here to these 3 buttons and it'll show you this. So on the left, we have all of your possible options that Webull allows you to look at. And on the right, we have everything that is currently populated. So if there's something else that you want to look at, we'll come over here. Alerts, this will just show if you have an alert for that stock ticker. Maybe we want to look at percent range. So now it's moved it over to this column and is now showing up in our watch list. So this is the percent range. Any other information, feel free to add it, take it away, suit your needs. So once you have a playlist, watch list, whatever you want to call it, once you have a watch list ready to go for the day, you'll want to go over to the Stocks tab. This is the main charting area, at least how I use it. You do have the ability to trade over here, but I primarily use it as charting information, and then go over to a customized layout for trading, which I'll show you a little bit later on in the video. So over here on the left, we have all of our possible watch lists. We want to go to the one we just created, stocks in play, and you can see NVIDIA, AMD, SPY, Tesla. Those are our 4. So over here, if we were to trade them, you have a few options. We have the active trade. These are the big buttons. Real easy stuff. Buy at the market, buy at the ask, sell at the market, sell at the bid. This is primarily for day trading, scalping, get in, get out quick, not too much fooling around with typing in numbers or anything like that. You can have your orders for the number of stocks or contracts that you want to trade, as well as if the application requires a confirmation before it actually puts the order out. Once everything goes from here, it'll populate down here into an open order and then eventually into your positions tab. If you want to go the more traditional route, you have the trade tab over here where you can do buy or sell, limit, market, stop, stop limit, all of the available orders, as well as the limit price, day, so time in force. And then if you want to add a bracket order for a stop loss or take profit, you can add all that in over here. So for just charting, this is the main chart. We have a few options over here. This is just the main one chart, but we can also split it into 2 or 4 if you're into that kind of thing. Just to keep things simple, we'll stick with the 1 so you guys can see everything. So we have a few options for indicators. This list over here are the more common ones, your EMAs, MAs, Bollinger Bands, VWAP, MACD, RSI, and volume. They do have a full list over here that you can add in anything else that's not in that quick look, anything you're interested in trading. I primarily like to keep it simple. I usually just trade EMAs, keep VWAP, and then sometimes I use RSI and MACD. So everything over here is completely drag and drop for however big you want to keep it. If you want to keep it unobstructing, keep everything minimized. So this is primarily what I trade with. Feel free to make it your own, add whatever you want. For your indicators, it also allows you to customize the settings for each of these. So we'll take a look at the EMAs, for instance. We'll do the settings on the EMAs. So you come over here, again, this is all of the ones that they allow you to add to your charts. So we'll look at EMAs. We have your inputs, so if you want to change the specific EMAs, as well as style, and then a description of what it is and how it works. So I primarily like to look at the 8 and the 21, but sometimes I'll throw on a 5 for some really short-term things, or longer term if you go to intraday swing or anything of that kind. So once you have your inputs, you'll go over to style, select the ones that you actually want to actively display on the chart. So we have the 5 EMA, 8 and the 21, and this is where you can change the colors of them so you'll recognize them at a glance. I have the 8 and the 21 turned on, white and blue, and I also have the VWAP on there as yellow. So once you add those, everything's on the chart, good to go. You also have a few options for your intervals down here. I primarily use the 1 minute, the 5 minute, and then for a larger intraday time frame, I'm looking at a 30 minute, maybe a 1 hour. I don't primarily do any swing trading, but you do have the option for days, weeks, months. And over here in the drop down, you can select any of your favorites so they always stay on the list. Maybe we want to look at a 2 minute. So now it's over here. Also, we have extended hours. If you're interested in, say, playing off the open, and you want to see how something gapped up, how it moved overnight, you want to turn on extended hours. So this is showing you everything stock market movement during the pre-hours. Webull does let you trade pre-market as well as a little bit after, only for stocks, not for options. So that's where you turn that on and off. So after the Stocks tab, we have the Markets tab. This displays general broad market data to help you inform the overall picture of the stock market. We have a few things you can look at. 3 major indexes, the SPX, the Dow, the NASDAQ over here with their spark charts. There's a heat index for the international markets, how they're doing currently, how they closed yesterday, depending on your time frame. There's also upcoming news of importance, as well as sector heat maps down here, and sector performance for 1 day, 5 day, month, 3 months. There's also pre-filled scanners for top gainers, top losers, stocks that are near the 52-week high, 52-week low, as well as calendar for upcoming earnings, dividends, splits, important information on those stocks. Again, those are pre-filled out scanners, and this whole page will just give you a broad overview of the entire market. After the Market tab, we have the Screener tab. This is an extremely important tool in your arsenal. Webull has a fairly all-encompassing screener. It's not going to be as good as a dedicated screener website, something like a FinViz, but it definitely has enough to get the job done. So if you want to go and build your own custom screener, you'll go to the Screener tab over here, and you'll open up the filters. So this is everything that Webull allows you to screen off of. For me, I'm primarily a technical analysis type of trader. Don't really care too much about the fundamentals. I'm scalping, I'm in and out, things like that. So for me, in this example, we'll build a scanner based off of that. So we want market cap, possibly volume, as well as we'll choose EMAs and RSI. So for this, we want to choose the United States with a very large market cap, say 5 billion and above. And again, it allows you to either text type in the box or use the slider bars. So we'll say above 6 billion. We want it to trade above, say, 1.5 million volume on average every day. And we'll go into the EMAs. So we want price or the EMAs. Let's go with price. So we want price to be above the daily 20 EMA. So we're screening for stocks on the daily chart. Keep that in mind. If you want anything lower than that, you'll probably need to go to a dedicated screening website. But on the daily chart, we're interested in price above the EMA 20, and we want RSI to be on the low end, 50 and below. So for this, the theory is we have a stock in the US stock exchange that has a very large market cap with a lot of volume. So this will provide our liquidity for trading. We have EMA with price above the 21. So we're in a short-term uptrend, and we are looking for something that is oversold or below 50. So it'll either be downtrending on a smaller time frame, or oversold, or coming back up from oversold. So once you select that over here, you can save it by clicking the save button, change it to name, whatever you'd like it to be. So we'll say this is short-term uptrend, oversold. Once you save that, it goes over to my screeners. So everything's saved. Now you can just pull that up whenever you're interested. So for the screener, this is everything that meets those criteria. We have a few well-known ones: Roku, Zoom, Snap, things like that. So if you want to add those to a watch list, you'll come over here to the three dots, you'll left click on it, add to watch list. Pick the one that you're interested in. We'll call it stocks in play since we used that earlier, and then you add it over there. So we'll say Zoom, and we'll add Roku. Cool. So now you can go back to your watch list, and look, they all showed up. So that's good. Everything worked. So we'll go back to our screener. Say we want to change to a different screener. So we'll go over to our filters. We'll clear everything out. We'll keep the market and the volume just for liquidity purposes, but we no longer care about the EMA or the RSI. Maybe we're just pattern traders and we want to go extremely simple with it. So we'll go with classic patterns. That populates all of the patterns that Webull's AI recognizes on the daily chart, selects it over here. You can choose it and screen off of those. So we'll keep the same market cap, the same volume criteria as before, as well as the United States, and say we want to look at, let's do flags. So we're interested in flags. This allows you to choose between a long-term, medium-term, and a short-term pattern recognition. We're not too picky, so we're going to select all three. And this will also help you select bullish or bearish. Maybe you're only trading stocks and you can't trade short. Maybe you know the state of the market and you only want to be bullish for the time being. So this is where you would select that. So for the sake of this argument, we are interested in bullish signals on the short, medium, and long term. So once you click that, we don't want to save this one, so we're just going to leave it as is and keep our list over here. So once we have our list, we'll say MGM. That's one that we all know. Let's take a look at MGM. We'll add this to our stocks in play, and we're going to go take a peek at it. MGM. And we'll make sure we're on the daily. And see these little green dots? This is that algorithm. So it now shows you most of the patterns. You can select this, turn it on or off, and it'll show you exactly what it's looking at. So it's showing a flag, which would be this guy here. That's all active signals we're not really interested in. All right, so as you can see, the flag pattern is here. It's recognized, as well as the pattern adjusted target. It's probably best not to base your target solely on this pattern, but as well as some other technical indicator, prior consolidation, things like that. So after we've looked at our patterns and our scanners, next up we have the Customize tab. This I'll circle back on since it's one of the more in-depth looks in the walkthrough, and I'll just briefly go to the next few tabs since they're a little less involved. After that, we have account. So this is the general overall account information, your cumulative P&L over any time period that you're interested in, as well as your P&L curve, P&L for specific stocks, as well as trade history over here. It also allows you to open an RRA, get approved for option trading, shows you your statements, your tax documents, trade confirmation, crypto approval, and exercise history. So that's all in this main tab. Shouldn't spend too much time in here. It's more of an at-a-glance kind of thing. So we'll continue on. Next tab. This is another really important one. So this is the Paper Trading tab. This is everything that the Custom tab has, that the Stocks tab has, completely customizable. The only kicker here is that you are playing with fake money. Everything that you see is showing yellow. That's so you know that you are simulated and it's fake money. This is a great place to practice any new strategies that you have, to learn a new ticker. You're using real market data, you're just not using real money. So this is where you can completely customize that. And again, I'll show you in the Custom tab how to do that. You can just apply everything I'm showing you there into this tab as well. All right, so we finally made it through the entire walkthrough to the most important part. This is the Customize tab. So this layout is where you will live primarily using Webull as a trader. This is how you set everything up to fit your needs and your style of trading. So I primarily am an options trader. I typically am a scalper. Average hold times 3 minutes, something along those lines. So this is an example of a layout that would be useful to me. So I have a 5-minute chart on the left, a 1-minute chart on the right, my options chain over in the top right, and then my order screen on the bottom right. So I have both the traditional as well as the active trade order entries. So this is my typical layout. I just wanted to have something here because there's so many options. I don't want to get lost in the details. I will try to build something out like this, show you guys a few of the options. But this is an example of something that I would use. So if you want to create your own, you will come over here to the plus button and do new layout. They have given you, Webull has given you a few pre-made options that you can go off of, or you can go off of a completely blank one. So I have a few pre-saved over here. Once you build something you like, you can save it as well, just so you can always go back to it in the future. So they have the default, and those are my customized. So if we want to start from a blank one, completely blank over here, it pops up the add widgets. Widgets are these windows. So any possible option they have to add in the layout is called a widget. If you are a options trader, if you are a stock trader, it doesn't matter. The widgets are what you need to add. So over here we have the quotes, trade, stocks, general, and market. Typically, you don't really need anything in the market information. Again, that's the broad market information that I showed you in the market tab earlier. General, you might be interested in the watch list. This is where you can also add your screeners, the customized screeners that you added before, as well as notes if you like to add any notes. You know, we're in an uptrend today, don't go short, we're gap up, the bias is long, we're in a gap down, the bias is short, things like that. The stocks tab has the order flow, news, all these other widgets. Again, most of these you're probably not going to be interested in for actively trading. You might set up a layout for maybe pre-market so you can analyze the news, get all of your important news information to you as fast as possible so you can evaluate everything, make a game plan for the day. That's primarily what you would want these widgets for. If you're going to use this layout for trading, you'll primarily live out of the quotes and out of the trade. So if you wanted to start and build one out, first and foremost, you are probably going to want your watch list. So if we go ahead and add that over here, drag and drop, everything is drag and drop. This is any watch list that you want. Let's see, we'll say stocks in play to keep everything consistent. So we have our watch list over here. Let's see if it allows you. Display mode. So we want to keep everything compact. Not that compact. We'll keep everything simple. So instead of all of the information from the watch list, now we primarily have just the ticker with the name underneath it, current price, and because we're in after hours right now, it shows you where it is in the after hours. So that's our watch list. After our watch list, we'll probably want to add a chart. This is where you have some options. So you can either have one chart, you can add a second chart if you want. Maybe you're somebody that likes to keep track of 2 charts at once, 2 different tickers at once, maybe off the open, something along those lines. I primarily trade SPY, so I have SPY up with 2 different time frames. And again, you have 2 different options here. You can take one chart and split it like I mentioned earlier, which is how I had the previous layout set up, or you can have 2 separate charts and keep them as full charts. Same rules apply. You can do your chart layouts, save everything how you have. I have my standard layout, so this is the 8, the 20, EMA, VWAP, RSI, MACD. And for the sake of this, we will go ahead and remove that second chart. So if we have our first chart, this is SPY. We have our watch list over here. We have the chart. What else could we possibly want? So I'm an options trader, so I am curious about the options chain. So if we have the options chain over here, now we have the options chain added in. So on the bright side, we have the complete customization to add calls or puts specifically instead of both. So instead of taking up full room to see the entire options chain, we can condense this down to where we're only looking at one side. So if we want to, say, look at the 10 strikes in and out of the money. So we'll go with that. Leave it about there sized, and this is where you would add any of the options items, just like our watch list. Anything that you want information-wise is over here. That's actually what's displayed, and this is everything that Webull allows you to add in the options chain. So it pretty much has all of the information that I'm interested in already. So we'll go ahead and leave that alone. I currently have this set up to show 10 strikes in and out of the money. I don't care to see both sides at once. I'm primarily going to be either biased towards calls or puts for the day. Usually I'm not going in between both of them, although occasionally it's just an easy one-click change. Calls, puts, things like that. So we have our chart over here. And we have our options chain. So what do we need next? We need to go, wrong button. We'll go back to where we were, add widgets. So we might possibly be interested in a level 2 order book. Some people have order 2. Webull allows that option for you to look at. So it's actually really nice to see where orders are sitting on the books. It displays it really nice as a curve. You unfortunately can't see it in after hours, which is when I'm filming this video. So for the sake of this, we're just going to go ahead and remove it. What else do we have? We have the quotes. That's just the ticker with the price. This is kind of most of that information that we really need. Time and sales is just the actual time that those sales come in just a nice flow. Not really interested in that for my style of trading, so most of what we'll have goes to the trade tab. So what we're missing now is order entry. So I have my chart, I have my watch list, I have the options chain, but I have no way to enter those orders. So if I want to enter those orders, I want to click on the orders entry. This will keep track of all the orders that I actually have entered in positions that are open but not filled yet. What I also want is a way to enter them. That would be this guy. Nope, that's the classic way. We don't want that. We want classic trade. So this is what I showed in the charts tab earlier. And the nice thing is you have the option to customize this as well. So we'll drag this guy over out of the way until we get everything sorted out. We'll leave our trade tab over here. So this is our traditional trade entry. Maybe I'm going to be using both. So we have our traditional trade entry here, and I want to add the big button stuff. Quick in and out, that's my style. So I'll right click over here and we'll go add a widget. So we'll go to add a widget. And let's see, we want active trade. That's the big buttons. Active trade, perfect. So now we have the big buttons with the number of contracts that I want, order confirmation, yes or no, as well as all of my positions when I'm in and the order goes out. So if I want to change this, we'll right click on active trader and we'll go to active trader settings. Everything over here is to customize it to fit your style. So right now it is currently showing the big buttons for stocks. It's not really interesting to me. So I'm going to get rid of all of my stock buttons, collapse that, and we'll go to the place orders options. So I want buy bid, buy ask, and buy customized, as well as a sell bid, sell ask, and sell customized. So the nice part here is you have the big buttons for the get it in and out quickly at the bid and the ask, and the customize is a really cool one. So if you're not in any particular hurry to get in and out, say you're preparing for a breakout but it hasn't quite happened yet, you might want this buy customized or this sell customized. So over here, you get to change the details of that custom order. So I want a limit order. Not a big fan of market orders, especially because I have the luxury of customizing it. If I want to get out quickly, I'll just sell at the bid. So for most of these, we'll do buy customize, we'll go to limit, just one contract at a time, and we'll go at the mid. So this is the displayed price in your options chain over here. Sorry, in between the bid and the ask, my bad. So we'll have the mid price, and then since this is a buy, you'll be offset towards the right side. So instead of going all the way to the ask, maybe the bid-ask spread is like 20 cents, I don't know. So we'll take the midpoint, which is 10 cents in between, and then we're going plus 5 cents on top of that. So we're slightly biased towards the full buy at ask, but we're getting a 5-cent better price in this example. So you'll want to use buy customized when you want to get in, but it's not absolutely critical. You're trying to get a slightly better price. Then you'll have the automatically adjusted price. I usually leave that the same. Time in force for the order, good till canceled or the day. And then you can also add in a bracket order to options. This is fairly new with Webull. You could choose percent or you can choose price. So for this example, we'll leave a stop loss order, say 20%, and a take profit at 40. So now, if I click this buy customize button, I'm going to put in a limit order at the mid plus 5 cents. Typically, that's good enough to get filled almost instantly. So when I get filled, it's going to put in that order, and it's also going to put in the bracket of stop loss at 20% loss and a take profit at 40%. Once those orders are in, you can change them as you see fit, but that's how everything goes in off the bat with one click of a button. So once we get that, maybe we want something else. What else do we want? Price ladder. Some people use the price ladder. I'm not a huge fan, especially with options, but you can have it added to. So this is the price ladder for where it's buy now. We'll have the midpoint to where the last price stays in the middle, and the ladder on either side. So you can set the increment to whatever you want it to be. Say we want it to be 10-cent increments. This will show you where all the orders currently are, volume-wise, and if they're on the bid or the ask side. You can also set your own orders over here. It's currently set to automatic, so if you're out of the money, it'll be a sell limit. If you're in the money, it'll be a sell stop, and same in reverse on the other side. So buy limit, buy stop. But what we can do is add it to our other widget. So now you have 3 separate options for entering orders. You have the standard order entry, you have the big button active trader, and then you have the ladder. So any one of those will enter an order for you, and then it'll populate down here to the orders. Maybe down here we also want to add positions. Positions is good to know. So once you actually get into a trade, it's going to go to your positions tab. So just to save space, we'll consolidate it over here with the orders, and we'll bring that over. So everything that you order, you'll see the price, enter your order, it'll populate down over here. Once your order gets filled, it'll go from orders to positions. All of this information is the default that it currently shows. Again, you can change it to display any of the information that you would like to see at the time. Everything on the left, same as usual, is available per Webull, and everything on the right is what you have selected to be shown. So that's where that is. This is, for the most part, our full layout. We're actually pretty close. There's not a whole lot else we might want to look at, but maybe we want to look at, let's do another chart. Let's look at a little tiny chart. So we'll look at, see if I can't make this a little bit bigger. For the sake of this argument, come here. There we go. let's remove our indicators. So we're going to get rid of, we'll keep the EMAs, and we'll get rid of MACD and RSI to save us some space. So we're good enough to know generally the way momentum's going. So we want this chart here. So we'll get this chart going, and we'll put this chart underneath it now. Everything's pretty sticky, so the windows usually try to fill the empty space. This can be hell if you're OCD like I am, but here we are. All right, so we'll keep everything combined. All right, so this is an example of some general layout. Typically for options, since we have the option chain, but again, you just get a little more room back when you don't need the option chain if you're just going to trade stocks. So something else of interest that you can do for this is you can link each of these little widgets to each other. So if you go over here and set it as a group, you can change anything 1 through 9, and then there's group cross layouts. The group cross layouts link widgets in different layouts together. So we have the blank layout that I did earlier, and then we have this new blank layout. So if we were to save these, I could do select as group 1, select as group 1. We'll call this group 1. Actually, we'll take no group on this guy, no group over here. We'll change this as group 1, no change over here. Okay, so everything's good. Say I wanted to change this guy to, instead of group 1, change it to cross group. So that will now change everything in this one to also over here, cross group 1. So now it'll change everything. I was looking at SPY over there, SPY, and it pushed it to this guy. But for my sake, I'm going to get rid of that. All right, so if everything, you're in this one layout. So you set everything to group 1. So whatever you click in a group 1 tab will change everything that is also linked to that. Over here in your watch list, if you double click, it changes your chart that's not linked. Anything that is not linked, it'll change. So if you want to change, we'll say MGM, double click. Now my main chart's MGM. Zoom, etc. So if we want that, that's just my chart. If you want to change everything over here in 1, so now once I changed watch list to group 1, now everything that I've linked to 1 also changes. So I'll change it to NVIDIA. The options chain changed to NVIDIA. My order ladder, my active trade, everything is NVIDIA. Really important to note. Don't make a mistake forgetting something, thinking you've changed it when you haven't. Make sure everything's grouped accordingly. Definitely walk through it during non-market hours, especially before you try to trade with your custom layout. So, say we wanted to go and trade SPY. We'll go ahead and click over here on SPY, make sure everything's the same. We've got SPY, 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 and Zoom. So we'll double click on SPY, make sure everything's all synced up. SPY, 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 everything's all good there. What we'll want to do is, really cool thing with options, we'll want to make sure that we click on the mid, not the bid or the ask over here, and that will actually push this chart here to the option price chart. For those of us that actually like to trade off of the options price as well as the stock price. Both of them are useful information. Sometimes the patterns show up in the stock price as well as in the option price. You can see where previous option pricing was defended, you rallied from it, where it sold off from, etc. So say we want to go to SPY, 10 strikes, in or out of the money. We are currently in an uptrend, so we want to take calls. So if we click on, we'll say 428, the mid price on 428 calls, that populated down here. So now we have the option chain price chart. So you can trade off of this. It's quite different than the chart. Actually, we're on the next day now. So that's what the option price chart looks like. You could trade it just the same as you would a normal option price chart. So that pretty much covers the entirety of our custom layout. Again, you can use it for stocks, you can use it for options. There's a lot of custom features. Feel free to play around with it, make it your own. Well, that pretty much covers our walkthrough of Webull's desktop application for trading. I hope you guys learned some things or got some value from the video. I highly recommend Webull as a brokerage and would encourage you guys to give it a shot. Again, make sure you are familiar with the platform before you go and trade with real money. Give paper trading a shot until you're comfortable. Don't forget, if you do want to sign up for Webull, feel free to use the referral code in the link below, and after signing up and making a deposit, you'll get some free stocks, and I will as well. Thanks again for watching the video, and good luck with your trading.